Well, it's Saturday the 12th of April, and this is episode 2508 of 301 Permanently Moved Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited by me, at the JMO. Since I began writing about worlds, there's been an empty placeholder at worldrunning.guide called The End of a World. All it says is, we must be prepared to confront the reality of a world's ultimate demise. What is the aftermath of a world's collapse? What lessons can world runners learn from these experiences when they are examined? It's sat empty for years, probably because it's hard to imagine the end of worlds when one is so invested in their flourishing. I bring this up because during a recent game design workshop on Discord, we used a deck of prompt cards to kickstart our discussion. The three keywords we drew were reverse, city, and care. We landed on the idea of a reverse city builder. What would a game look like if it was about dismantling a fully functional world? Not construction, but careful deconstruction, attentive and deliberate. It was a generative discussion, but I kept thinking about worlds as a medium, and how a world runner has a duty to attend not just to a world's coherence, but to its endings. My thoughts drifted to my friend Dougal Hines' book, At Work in the Ruins, and his frequent invocation of Federico Campagna's line, "At the end of a world, we must no longer concern ourselves with making sense according to the logic of the world that is ending, but leave good ruins, starting points for those who come after." And also Vanessa Oliveira's book, Hospicing Modernity. So, with all of that in mind, some initial thoughts on the ending of worlds. As I've written elsewhere, every world needs a ritual of welcome, but each also needs a ritual of ending. By world, I don't just mean digital communities, games, or online platforms, but world as medium, something with a coherent inside and a clear outside, a space where meaning metabolizes and coheres. We invest real time in worlds, we learn their logics, become fluent in their symbols, and navigate their physics. Their stories shape how we think, how we relate, and how we present ourselves, and we develop worldviews inside of them. But what does it mean to exit a world? In Hospicing Modernity, Oliveira talks about the need for disinvestment. Exiting one world means moving into another, a process of disidentification and decompression. When we lose a world, a digital community, a fiction, a protocol, a political frame, we must grieve. Grieve the loss of an ambient we. And yet, many world endings go unremarked. Platforms vanish, projects pivot, communities fracture, ontologies dissolve, all often without ceremony. And this is where ritual becomes essential. Just as rituals of welcome orient us into new meaning, we need rituals of departure to honour disorientation. Without ritual, departures become abrupt, traumatic, or incomplete. People get stuck, carrying the brainworms of one world while floating adrift in the next, still attuned to physics that no longer operate. Just look at how Twitter people behave on Blue Sky. A ritual of departure helps mark the threshold. Departures come in many forms, but I see three. Individual departure, stepping away from a world that continues, maybe from burnout, changing values, or a slow drift. Collective departure, the world ends for everyone, a final chapter, the sunset, the end of shared meaning-making. Or a partial departure, from core participant to peripheral lurker, a fade-out, a disentangling. Each of these deserves its own grammars of care, and if we are serious about worlds as a medium, we must design intentional exit ways. Online they look like the final post, the thank you note, the rage quit, or zipping files and saving archives. Some people follow cooldown protocols, slowly reducing presence instead of vanishing. In collective departures, what matters is time. Time to prepare, time to remember. You see rituals like archiving projects, final explorations, or the closing of shared lore. The infrastructure, the physics of the world, may be preserved. In our own world, we all experience final events. The last dance at the disco, a shared silence, a closing ceremony. And we do these things because they matter. Rituals of ending don't have to be solemn, but they must be real, and they need to make sense inside of the world and speak to its participants. While we understand worldviews as perspectives embedded in worlds as a medium, the stakes shift. Every medium shapes what can be thought, said, or done. And to step in and out of a world is no simple UX decision, it's metaphysical threshold design. Modernity, Oliveira reminds us, thrives on the illusion of continuity. That progress is endless, collapse avoidable, change always a fix. But some things must be ended, not solved. A ritual helps us name what is ending and gently initiates us into the new. Mediums and the media they contain are always composted, not discarded. To run a world is to be responsible for its edges as much as its centre. Its ending must be part of the design. A world runner tends to its aliveness, yes, but also to its thresholds. to its arrivals and to its departures.